What's up, guys? This is gonna be. I really don't know how to react. I really don't. Um, in regards to what we're gonna talk about this week. Um, I originally was. I went to a Mariners game this week. I originally was gonna uh, update the blog and the vlog. Take some pictures, put together a small video, and then this happens. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't. I was not rooting for Phil Humber. I was not. Um, I'm one of those fans that say, go ahead and pitch perfect game no hitters, just don't do it against my team. And lo and behold, I saw one today. That being said, I've collected ticket stubs throughout being a sports fan. They're kind of scattered in different places. But I'm not losing these. These are the ticket stubs. These are the ticket stubs to today's Mariners game, where Phil Humber from the Chicago White Sox pitches a perfect game against my Seattle Mariners. 27 up, 27 down. In sports, you're going to have those moments where you're going to see something amazing, and they're going to happen for your team, and they're going to happen for your opponents. And as I left the stadium, I just thought, I remember in 2001 when the Mariners were setting record after record after record. We're tying record. We tied the 116 wins. Brett Boone broke the home runs for by a second baseman in a season. 8 Mariners and their manager Lou Piniella were named to the All-Star squad. I'll even go even further. 2002, Mike Cameron ties the major league record for the most home runs in a game with 4 against the White Sox. So what goes around comes around. There are just going to be some of those games where you're going to see, and there's going to be this huge accomplishment, and sometimes it's against your opponent, and it's hard. This definitely is going in my top 10 as tough losses. Basically, I have 3 reactions, which will go into it, but man, this one hurts. I go there to the game. I'm excited. Everyone's ready to cheer on the Mariners and hope that they can bounce back from last night's loss. And lo and behold, our offense, more on that later, has a perfect game thrown against them. Just to be there. Just to recap the game, I began to think about, believe it or not, about a perfect game no hitter at the end of the 4th, when the Mariners went through the first 9 and didn't get a base hit. I was thinking, all right, in many regards, it's kind of typical with what's happened in the last few years. And so when we didn't get the first 9, that really didn't surprise me. That also being said, when I went to one of the Florida, or I should say Miami Marlins games last year, the Mariners in their first 3, in the first 2 innings didn't have a hit. They had a couple walks, but they didn't have a hit until Felix Hernandez, out of all people, hit a base hit and broke up the no-hitter, for that game. And so I really wasn't worried. But after the 4th, when Humber retired Figgins, Ackley, and Ichiro, that's when I got worried. And I thought, this guy is on. His pitch count is low. If he keeps pitching like this and constantly attacking the strike zone, we're going to have some issues. And after that, it was just, I did everything in my power to jinx it. I was talking about it with my girlfriend. I started counting how many outs that we made, um, but without getting a hit, and Humber was on. So yeah, I did see the no hitter. I was afraid of it at the end of the fourth. Humber's line for the White Sox: 9 innings pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 9 Ks. Batters faced 27. Only has 96 pitches. Only throws 96 pitches, and out of those 96 pitches, 67 of them were strikes. I can only remember two batters that went to full counts, and they were in the ninth inning. Maybe there was more, but that's all I remember. But props. The guy was on. The one thing that what I thought was a little surprising is the Mariners' offense, as poor as it is, and it looks like right now, at least with the first couple weeks of the season, they seem to be extremely patient at the plate, and they really are trying to make pitchers work. And I didn't get the sense that was the case in this game. They kept swinging early in counts. They even tried to bunt their way aboard, with the first pitch. Kawasaki did that late in the game. Didn't work, obviously. So I was kind of surprised with the Mariners' approach at the plate. And it didn't seem until the ninth inning when Michael Saunders, John Jaso, and Brendan Ryan all really tried to work the count just to get something. And that was just surprising. All right, reactions. Again, this one hurts. I mean, this is up there with Central Washington University losses. This is up there with game 4 of the 2001 ALCS when Alfonso Siriano hits the game-winning home run off of Kazuhiro Sasaki. But I got to give props. I mean, I'm speechless. I never thought that I would see a perfect game live. And I get on the Mariner fan base for a lot of things, but I won't get on them for cheering in the ninth inning, and cheering at the ending, applauding Humber's performance because, excuse me, I won't get them on because baseball fans have a tendency to do that, for no hitters. I remember when Randy Johnson, I can't remember if it was a perfect game or not, but I remember when Randy Johnson pitched a perfect game against the Atlanta Braves, and it was in Atlanta. In the final inning, Braves fans were doing the same thing, standing, cheering, kind of, thinking, will we see a no-hitter today? So I can understand, the Mariner fans' reaction at the end of the game. That's understandable. Probably never going to see a perfect game live ever again. As a baseball fan, heck, that was an amazing pitching performance. Absolutely. I mean, I just read you the stats and it's cool. It's only happened 21 times. I mean, as I was walking out of the stadium, I heard people doing, trying to figure out the math of the chances of seeing a perfect game no-hitter throughout baseball's long history. And it's only been done 21 times. So it's cool, to say that I've seen a perfect game. Unfortunately, it was against my Seattle Mariners. Now the Mariners. Now I have the Mariners side of the whole thing. At the beginning of the season, I said my goal is not to yell about the team. But, man, they are making it really hard right now. I mean, I know it's in the middle of April. There's plenty of time to turn it around. We still are learning about the team, learning about what works, what doesn't work. We're learning about other teams. Some teams are riding really high, some teams are really low. Batting averages and pitching statistics are still kind of wonky. Excuse me. Sorry. Must have a frog in my throat or something. I get that, but these first 2 weeks of the season, they're making it. This first part of the season, they're making it really hard for me not to yell about them. Because first you have their Japanese owner not attend a game when they're in Japan, and then they get a perfect game no hitter thrown against them, and we're not even through April yet. Our offense is slowly but surely getting back to what I said before. As long as we don't have a 300 hitter and we don't have a guy who's going to hit 25 home runs, the offense is going to stink, and it's starting to look like that. This no hitter doesn't help. That being said, I'm going to try not to repeat myself, but last year, the Mariners got swept by the Washington Nationals. And that was, in my opinion, the turning point of the season. The Mariners were competitive. They were kind of flirting with challenging Texas for the division title. And then after they got swept by the Nationals, it just kind of went downhill from there. They won a couple of series, and then they went on a 17-game losing streak. But it was after we got swept by the Nationals, that I was talking to all my Mariner friends. Jack Zduriencik needs to trade for a bat. And he didn't do that. He traded for more prospects at the trading deadline. And that was that. But this is the time. This is the time that Jack Zduriencik, seriously, after that game, I am praying Jack Zduriencik went straight to the phone lines and started calling other teams for a bat. We have now hit a new all-time low. And our offense has now gone down to 0. And I know it's just for one game. I understand that, Humber may have just had a good outing and that could be it. Also, the Mariners might have issues with their lineup that they need to change. But if you're going to start having pitchers throw complete games and a perfect game no hitter this early in the season, I don't care at this point, if you want to protect your prospects, if you want your prospects to develop, because we need a bat. This game shows that now is the time. I'm not going to talk about whether or not they should have gotten a bat in the offseason. I'm not going to talk about, Prince Fielder or Albert Pujols or what have you. I'm not going to talk about, they made a legitimate try with Jesus Montero with that trade and Michael Pineda going to the Yankees. At the end of the day, now is the time. We need to go out, and Jack Zduriencik needs to go out, call other teams, and get a veteran presence in this lineup and in the heart of the lineup. And with that presence, hopefully, at least on paper, our offense will be better. And the kids that are playing right now will have some protection. Because today, they showed that they don't have any protection. I wouldn't even be a bit surprised if tomorrow's game, Ichiro's back in the leadoff spot. I wouldn't be surprised if Dustin Ackley is back in the third spot. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Jesus Montero is batting fourth. Wouldn't be surprised if Justin Smoke's out of the lineup, with him struggling a little bit. I know he's got a little bit of a wrist problem at this point, but I wouldn't be surprised if Olivo wasn't in the lineup. But we need a bat. And I really hope that, at this point, that Chuck Armstrong and Howard Lincoln go up to Jack Zduriencik and say, listen, get a veteran presence here. and do it now. Because this offense has gone from here now down to 0. Now, I'm not saying the Mariners are going to get perfect games every night. I'm not saying that. But we need something. Because if today is any indication of what is to come for the rest of the year, it's going to be a really long year. Heck, we might even break our records for being worse than last year or the year before. You know, we seem to be stalled in having the worst offense ever since in the designated hitter era of Major League Baseball. So, Jack Cerventek, now's the time. Pull the trigger. Go out and get a bat right now. Okay, seriously. Again, not saying that the Jesus Montero trade is not panning out. I think there are some good things with Montero. I think there's some things he needs to work on. But at the end of the day, we don't have that presence. And we need it now. I'm tired of these 1-0, 2-0, today in this case 4-0 losses. Go get it back, Jack. Jack Z, get on the phone and get it back. I don't want to see any more of these pitchers duels and any more of these gems. Anymore. So, since I did go to the game, I did film the final out. You'll get that. You'll see that in a couple minutes. And that's pretty much what I got. Again, don't really know how to react here. You know, baseball side of me is like, whoa, saw a perfect game, no hitter. The other side of me is like, well, it was against my Mariners. What can you do? Go get a bat, Jack Z. Make the phone call. Now is the time. So, talk to y'all later, and I'll get that celebration video up on in a couple of minutes. So, talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.